Battered Herons podcast. Daniel Solana, never afraid like us to tell you exactly how he feels. He's joining us right now, and he's going to tell us exactly how he feels online the other day following an Inter Miami loss to the Chicago Fire 5-3. You had some kind of strong comments about Lionel Messi. You standing by those comments?
Absolutely. Good afternoon, fellas. Good afternoon to all the listeners. Yeah, I'm standing by those comments. He looked like he was disinterested in that game, but he came back after that game and had a good game after that. And there's a lot of chaos that's surrounding Inter Miami today. Well, over the last couple weeks, fellas, you mentioned it right before you went to break, Dan. You said that Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba are no longer going to be part of Inter Miami in 2026, both of them announcing retirement. And I don't know how you guys feel about that. I think that this is a good thing for Inter Miami. I think this will allow them to push the reset button, allow them to bring in some younger, some younger legs, somebody that's going to give maybe a little bit more on the physical side than these two legends of the game have given Inter Miami over the last two seasons. But I think this season, more than the rest, we've seen Messi and friends kind of dwindle in terms of their physical progression, and unfortunately, sometimes it's the ownership's problem to say, hey, we got to take a step back and let the fans know that, hey, we made a mistake by doing this. It's been a fun 2 years, but we have to look at the future of Inter Miami, at what this project is going to be in 2026 going forward at Miami Freedom Park. And again, I think this is a positive for Inter Miami.
So, okay. You're going to get him back, right? The rumor had it like at least from a week ago that the contract is there for an extension. He's agreed to it pretty much, just needs to put ink to paper. So, for how long will you have him? Another 2-3 years, maybe? Lionel Messi.
The rumor and what was reported by the Miami Herald earlier this week was that he was going to sign a multi-year contract. I think personally that multi-year contract is going to be a 1 year with a 1 year option.
It's like the LeBron James contract in the NBA, pretty much. Like one
exactly.
year with a 1 year player option where he can either get into the contract or renegotiate for another deal.
Right. And I think he's only going to have 1 more year at Inter Miami. I think 2026 will be his last year. I think he has his eyes set on the World Cup, playing the 2026 World Cup. And Inter Miami right now offers him the best chance of staying healthy, of staying fit. And
it's here. And it's also here in North America.
Correct.
Got you. So then, therefore, yeah, your boys got to go. I'm sorry. They're old and they got to go. They know that they're old. They know that they're not the same type of players anymore. And as much as it's been a I would say it's pretty safe to say it's been a financial windfall for Inter Miami. But if this guy only has 1 more year left, which is 2026, you got to start planning for the future. Because once he retires, you just can't be like, okay, well, here's Inter Miami. This is us, guys. Go root for this team. You got to give the fan base that a reason to continue the support other than watching, the sport that they love. So
100%.
I believe that this is a great planning for them for the future.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the only thing that, seems a little fishy, and obviously when there's a little smoke, there's fire, is that Jordi Alba signed or re-signed with Inter Miami a couple of months ago for an extension through 2027. So my question, to everybody, and this is really what I've been thinking about, is what changed between then and now. And of course, he came out and spoke with some local media, some local press at practice yesterday, and said that he's been thinking about it for a while, and that it's time, and he's doing it for personal reasons. But Solana doesn't think so. I think that there's a little bit something more to this. I think something big is cooking in Inter Miami this winter. I have a feeling if they don't win the MLS Cup, there will be a new coach in town, and that's what they're getting ready to do. Is they're setting the table for this new coach that's going to be coming into town.
So, sorry, Dan. So, are you telling me like are you telling me that Inter Miami's low key kind of like moving the Argentine Arsenal away and getting away from from the messiness of Messi, for lack of a better term, because
I
if
don't
all
think
his
so.
guys are kind of like being easily pushed out, or they're not upset if they want to retire, that to me means like you kind of want a new culture or a new voice or a new leader, because clearly the number 10 has been the leader of this team the last 2-3 years.
Absolutely, him along with Busquets
His
and
boys.
Alba and Suarez. But now you have Rodrigo de Paul coming in, somebody who's not part of that Barcelona squad, somebody who comes in from the Argentine national team. And so I think you're going to see something more along the lines of that in this what I'm going to call Inter Miami redemption tour, and what most are calling the Messi 2.0 project. But I think you'll see that. You'll see them bring more Argentines, more South Americans into the fold. And of course, the rumors have been out over the last 24 hours, fellas, that Inter Miami is trying to reunite the MSN, Messi, Suarez, and Neymar. And Neymar, I mean, again, his contract is up at the end of the year with Santos, and he has the option to get out. So that could be a possibility. I really, really hope that does not happen, because if what you want to do is compete in the MLS, you cannot continue to bring aging superstars if you want to continue to compete. You need to start getting younger. You need to start building around Messi and not with Messi, and start planning for the future of 2027, 2028, and what this is going to be when Messi retires.
And that's what I'm hoping you're talking about, Daniel Solana. As you say, maybe this team has a little bit of forward thinking and is saying, okay, we need to kind of shift in how we're building this team. Of course, Messi will still be here, but Alba and Busquets, you're kind of past, not kind of past your prime, you're past your prime. Maybe they're shifting their trajectory a little bit, and big things are to come. I'm not talking about Neymar. I'm talking about big things as far as like on the field play. But Daniel Solana, I want you to walk me back from the ledge on two things. Number one, we know Busquets is retiring this year. Jordi Alba's retiring. Messi's not getting any younger. So far, financially, this has been a huge success for Inter Miami. But if they do not win the MLS Cup this year, I feel as though this whole experience and this whole project has kind of been a failure.
I mean, it depends on the way you look at it, right? If you're the type of person who says the only way that you're going to say that this is a success is if you win trophies, and absolutely, because they, at the end of the day, only won a Leagues Cup, and that was at the beginning of Messi's run. And then they won the Supporters Shield last year, which is quote unquote, a faux trophy, right? Because it doesn't really mean anything. So yeah, at the end of the day, it could be that this is an absolute disaster, and it's a not a success. But I look at it as a way of, you got to experience some of these players play where a lot of folks didn't get a chance to. If you didn't live in Barcelona, if you didn't live in Europe, you didn't get a chance to play, and you got a chance to go watch Messi play. You got a chance to see Suarez. You got a chance to see Alba, Busquets. And I mean, to me, I cannot take those memories away that I shared with my son, that I shared with my friends, going to the field and enjoying these guys. But yes, at the end of the day, to answer your question, Dan, if you are the owner of Inter Miami, yes, you might have inflated your pockets, but if you don't have a trophy at the end of the day to put into your trophy case, then it's not going to matter, in the eyes of the MLS fan.
And one more thing, if Inter Miami doesn't make some type of brave moves and make some moves towards the future, and Messi walks away and we don't really have a clear-cut plan, I hate to say, I see Inter Miami's fan base kind of reverting back to what it was before Messi.
Yeah, that's very fair to say. Very fair to say. Obviously, we know before Messi was here, it was very tough for Inter Miami to sell tickets. The stadium wouldn't get full. Once Messi came, that changed completely. But, I can tell you the Messi hype is starting to die down. I was at the game against Chicago. It wasn't that full. The tickets weren't even that expensive, guys. So I think the Messi hype is dying down, and I think that Inter Miami, again, is gearing up to bring up that hype for 2026, because they know when they open Miami Freedom Park, it can't be a stadium that only has 10,000 people in it. It needs to be a stadium that's completely sold out every single game. And so I'm of the belief that they're going to make some changes this winter. They're going to bring in some new faces. Like I said, they might bring in a new coach again. and they'll have a new outlook in 2026. Again, they'll play Champions Cup soccer, just like they did this year. They will have the MLS Cup, and they will also play, I believe, the U.S. Open next year. So a lot of football on the 2026 agenda for Inter Miami. But I don't know if you guys heard the craziness that's been going on with Messi over the last couple of days.
No, I haven't heard the other craziness that was going on. I know there's a topic I will talk to you about later, but a lot of great news locally down here with soccer. But if there's some other Messi news that we don't know about, please share.
Yeah, no, it's not really news, but the fact that Messi was called to the national team and trained with the national team all week, and then as of yesterday morning, reports had come out that he was released from the Argentine national team camp to then be incorporated back into Inter Miami's team so that he could play tonight's game versus Atlanta United. He will then go back to Argentina camp and play Argentina's friendly on Tuesday against Puerto Rico. That is unprecedented. I've never heard of a player leaving their national team during a national team window to play with his club team. Now, this is
Dan
fantastic.
is happy about this. Dan is thrilled by this because Dan and I talked about this earlier, and I'm like, it's country before club, right? And he was like, well, you didn't say that during hockey. Like, well, two different sports. We know what country means to a soccer player. It means it might mean a little bit more, just a little bit more than what country means for hockey.
It might, but in this case, it's showing what Inter Miami means to Messi, right? Because he, is basically, he was at the game last night, Argentina-Venezuela. Argentina beat Venezuela 1-0. He didn't play. He was in a suite. He will play tonight. Inter Miami needs the points to continue in their seeding battle for the best possible playoff spot to then face the lowest seed team possible in the playoffs. And Inter Miami needs him. And with about 6 or 7 players already out due to international the international break, and also due to some suspensions, due to some yellow cards, they were going to be short players. So Messi took it upon himself to say, hey, I'm going to go play with my club and forego this game with my country. And to me, that just goes to show the amount of commitment and the how great of a locker room story that is, that your leader, your number 10, your captain is going to show up the day that you need him most. And he's going to be there to support you and be on the field with you.
Good PR. Good PR.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely. I'm all in on that.
So, quick question. And it's kind of Messi related. La Liga's coming to South Florida December 20th for a La Liga game. That is big. That is a big, big story. Please, Daniel, explain to the masses down here what this game between Barcelona and Villarreal, I believe that's the matchup, December 20th at Hard Rock Stadium, a La Liga game that's going to count in the standings, is happening in the United States.
It's never before been done. This is the first of its kind, right? There's never been a professional league game hosted, or at least of the big 5 leagues in Europe, hosted outside in the United States. And so this is absolutely historic. Of course, we know that Hard Rock Stadium has hosted other historic matchups, such as a Clásico with Real Madrid facing Barcelona, but that was a friendly. And you knew that the main players were only going to play a certain number of minutes. And so the fact that Barcelona is coming over to here to play a game that actually means something in the standings, and they're playing against Villarreal, I expect Hard Rock to be absolutely full. I really hope that the tickets are not overpriced like the World Cup tickets have been overpriced. But it's going to be an absolute party. It just goes to show that South Florida is the mecca of soccer in the United States, because everybody wants to come and play here.
Getting back to Inter Miami, these next 2 games, Atlanta United tonight and Nashville next week, they are very important for the grand scheme of things for Inter Miami, Daniel.
100%. It means everything, right? You win these 2 games, you ensure yourself the second playoff spot in the table. You lose these 2 games, you could go as low as 5th place. And that means that you will not have home field advantage for the first round of the playoffs, which we know, gentlemen, is going to be a best of 3. So you have the opportunity to play up to 3 games in the first round, a format that we all agree we do. Well, at least Vlad and I agree that we do not like. I know Dan might like the extra game.
I'm worried about the income. I want the team to make money. Come on. No, I'm joking. Ridiculous.
But it is. So they definitely want to win these 2 games. And that's why it's so important that Messi plays tonight and that they get this win tonight. It's going to be a shorthanded Atlanta team missing 7, also 7 to 8 players due to the international window, due to some injuries that they have. So, I have some people texting me saying it's going to be a Messi masterclass. He's going to have another hat trick and ensure the golden boot. We know that he's up against Denny Bouanga, who is also away on international duty representing the nation of Gabon. So he has an opportunity to do that tonight, and Inter Miami has an opportunity to hop some folks in the table, hop some teams in the table, and get as high as possible. They have the opportunity to get up to 65 points, which would put them 3 short of where Philadelphia is right now, winning the Supporters Shield. But yeah, it's a big game tonight and a big game next week against Nashville, because you might have to face Nashville in the first round of the playoffs.
Absolutely. That's what I was looking at. But I do kind of believe in a Messi masterclass tonight. I know it might be kind of quote unquote messy out there with the rain, but I do believe Messi, he's not coming off of international duty to come play with Inter Miami to not put on a show. And I do expect Inter Miami to get a win tonight against Atlanta United.
I do as well. I think, I had thought it was going to be a tie when I saw so many players were going to be missing. But now that I see that Messi is coming back, I think Inter Miami will be able to pull one away. Obviously, I never give them the clean sheet. I think at least Atlanta will score at least 1 goal, maybe 2. But I do think Inter Miami, with Suarez, with Messi, with Busquets, with Alba, possibly for the last time at home, or definitely the last time at home for a regular season game for Inter Miami, get out there and go watch them before it's too late.
Special time we're in right now. Inter Miami can hopefully continue to make it very special for us. Daniel Solana, are you going to the game tonight?
I am not. Unfortunately, I'm home alone with my son this weekend, so I will be watching the game at home. I will be doing possibly a post-game show and rooting the team away. And I just wanted to say one more thing to all my FSU fans out there. FS who?
Ooh.
They're losing right now, 27-24.
Ooh. So, Daniel Solana, people want to get some more of your soccer expertise because it is around the clock. It never stops. Please let us know how we can find you.
You can find me at Dice El Danny on all my social media. Also, you can find me on Battered Herons and on This Is Football. We release shows daily and weekly on both channels. So you can catch all my stuff on there. And I'm pretty active on X these days, fellas.
Absolutely glad to have you. Been missing you, but it's been all about the U lately. So we had a little bit of time to get some Inter Miami action in. And so we had to get our guy, Daniel Solana. Thank you so much for joining us.